Well, hello. Today is a beautiful day, and I want to talk to you about the peace treaty, the one that we're seeing right now. And I want to talk to you about the fact that it probably will not say it is a 7-year peace treaty. Even if it's the Antichrist peace treaty, it's not going to say 7 years. And I'm going to tell you why it won't say that. It may say it, but it's pretty doubtful. So I think that Satan likes to conceal. And in this case, he may be very well concealing something from people, and they'll be blindsided. They won't spot it because they're looking for a 7-year peace treaty. And of course, we know where they get it from. It's Daniel 9:27. But let's take a look at Daniel 9, because Daniel 9, when you put it all together, it shows us something different. It paints a picture of a different context. And that's what I want to show you today. So in Daniel 9, he was praying to the Lord, and he was pleading with the Lord for forgiveness for his people, forgiveness for himself. And he wanted the Lord to reconcile with his people and bring them back into the land. And he wasn't just praying for forgiveness, and he was also praying because he was seeking an answer from the Lord. He was seeking the answer about Jeremiah, about the 70 years. He didn't really, I don't think he really understood, and he wanted to understand because he knew it was coming close to that time to end the Babylonian exile. And so he's begging God to forgive him and his people, restore the people of Israel. And in verse 22, Daniel is talking here. It says the angel Gabriel came to Daniel at the time of the evening sacrifice. So all the while he's praying, he's in sackcloth and ashes, and he's been fasting. So Gabriel shows up, and he said to him, he made me understand, speaking with me and saying, "Oh, Daniel, I have now come out to give you insight and understanding." So he clearly says, I've come here to help you understand so that you know what this is about, because Daniel was seeking answers. And and those answers are in Daniel chapter 9, verses 24 through 27. And 70 weeks are decreed about your people and your holy city. See, there's the 70 weeks that Jeremiah was talking about. It's a totality of 70 weeks to finish the transgression, to put an end to sin, and to atone for iniquity, to bring in everlasting righteousness, to seal both vision and prophet, and to anoint a most holy place. Know therefore and understand that from the going out of the word to restore and build Jerusalem to the coming of an anointed one, a prince, there will be 7 weeks. There's another period of time. And for 62 weeks, another period of time, it shall be built again with squares and moat, but in a troubled time. And after 62 weeks, so that's after that period of time, an anointed one shall be cut off and shall have nothing. And the people of the prince who is to come will destroy the city and the sanctuary. Its end will come with a flood. In the end, and to the end there will be war. Desolations are decreed. And he will make a strong covenant with many for 1 week. One period of time, again, another period. And for half of the week, another period of time. He shall put an end to sacrifice and offering. And on the wing of abominations shall come one who makes desolate, until the decreed end is poured out on the desolator. So you can clearly see that Daniel 24 through 27, what Gabriel is explaining, These are time periods. These are units of time so that he could clearly understand and so that we could understand how these time periods would work. What would be during this time, what would be during that time, and so forth. And so what we're essentially waiting for is that last period of time, that last 7-year period. Okay? So we're given these periods of time to recognize the season that we're in. And so we would recognize that final 7-year period by this treaty, okay? And it may not, like I said, these are periods that are broken up. It doesn't mean it's going to say 7 years. Just so we know. Because, you know, when you look at these periods of time, what's going to be accomplished in 70 weeks? And it's broken down. The totality of 70 weeks, you'll see, to finish the transgression, to make an end of sins, to make reconciliation for iniquity, and to bring in everlasting righteousness, to seal up vision and prophecy, and to anoint the most holy. So those are the things that will happen throughout the entire period of that 70 years, okay? And, you know, there's a course in dividing of those 70 years or weeks. And, you know, it says, know therefore and understand that from the going forth of the command to restore and build Jerusalem until Messiah the Prince, there will be 7 weeks and 62 weeks. The street shall be built again and the wall even in troublesome times. You see how that's broken down in time frames or in time units or in periods of time, however you want to see it, but these are clearly periods of time. And then what happens after the 69 weeks? So, and after the 62 weeks, Messiah will be cut off, but not for himself, and the people of the prince who is to come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary. The end of it will be with a flood. Until the end of the war, desolations are determined. So that's what's going to happen after that period of time. So now we get to the final 70th week, which is the week that we're looking for right now. We're looking for that 7 years, okay? That's the point in time, this time frame, when he is going to confirm a covenant with many for 1 week. But in the middle of the week, remember, this is the other part of that time frame, he will bring an end to sacrifice and offering, and on the wing of abominations shall be one who makes desolate, even until the consummation, which is determined, is poured out on the desolate. Sorry, I got a tongue twister there. But anyway, so you can see that final week, He's broken these down into time frames so that we can understand them, so that Daniel can understand them, because that's what Daniel was seeking to do, to understand these 70 weeks that Jeremiah was talking about. So he's explicitly explaining these periods of time and how they would work. So these are for him and us to know, but it doesn't mean that it's going to be written in a peace treaty that way. Just like we believe in other periods of time throughout the Bible. It doesn't mean that it's written explicitly stated in secular places or in institutions or anything like that, or in government, you know. So the point is, though, that he's going to confirm a covenant with many for a period of 7 years. Even though it may not say 7 years, because that's the final time frame that Gabriel has given us. And the coming prince will make a covenant with Israel for the final period of time, the final 7 years, completing this 70 weeks that's prophesied for the Jewish people in Jerusalem. This 7 years is just a part of this complete picture of 70 weeks. So that's why it's broken up the way that it is. And that's why they may not say 7 years in the peace treaty. So don't be fooled. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Don't be fooled, because we probably won't see this 7-year thing written down. It's just for us, for those that have wisdom. And, you know, it does say in the same book that in the last days that the book would be opened and more understandable for us. So what we need to do, though, is really get back to the basics of reading it in context and not just running with something that we've heard all these years and, you know, just believe it because we've heard it so many times over and over, like my video yesterday. It's easier to digest something that we hear repeatedly. And we tend to believe that before we believe new information. We don't like new information. So, but I do hope that that if you have comments, if you have questions, please ask, because I'd love to connect with you. And thank you for spending your time with me today. And God bless you. Bye.